Right now feels like one of those strange moments in NASCAR where something just doesn't sit right. You see a legend doing what he does best, winning, celebrating, reminding everybody why he's one of the fiercest racers of his generation. And yet, there's this cloud hanging over it. And it's not about performance. It's not about talent. It's not about desire. It's about opportunity. And if you've been watching this sport as long as I have, you know that when a driver who lives and breathes racing starts facing barriers that have nothing to do with speed, that's when things get complicated. There's a bigger story building here, one that could quietly shape what the next chapter looks like for one of the most accomplished drivers we've ever seen. And it ties into something we're also seeing happen to another major name in the garage. Trust me, this matters more than it seems. Before we break it all down, do me a quick favor. If you're a real NASCAR fan who lives for this kind of inside conversation, hit that like button, subscribe to NASCAR Nation Report. We're a new channel trying to reach 5,000 true fans who actually care about this sport. And if that's you, you're in the right place. So here's where this gets real. While Kyle Busch is out there reminding everyone why he's still one of the fiercest competitors in the garage, winning in the Truck Series and looking completely locked in, there's something happening behind the scenes that honestly feels unbelievable when you think about who we're talking about. On Instagram, Samantha Busch opened up during an AMA session, and what she said wasn't dramatic, it was honest. She said she loves watching Kyle run 8 truck races this year with Spire Motorsports. She made it clear he just loves to race. That's who he is. But then she dropped the part that hit hard. If they could get sponsorship, he'd run as many races as possible in the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts Series too. Let that sink in. We're talking about a 2-time Cup Series champion. A guy with over 100 wins in the O'Reilly Series. One of the most accomplished drivers to ever strap into a stock car. And he can't get a ride there right now. Not because he doesn't want to, not because he's not competitive, but because the sponsorship isn't there. That's wild. And what makes it even crazier is that Kyle hasn't run a single event in NASCAR's Tier 2 since 2024. For someone who used to be a regular in both the Truck and O'Reilly Series, that's a massive shift. This is a guy who used to own his own team, Kyle Busch Motorsports. Back then, if he wanted to race in the lower divisions, he had control. He had guaranteed seats. He had structure. But after selling the team, that security disappeared. Now, he's dependent on outside sponsorship and team approval. And unless a sponsor steps up specifically for him, there's no automatic seat waiting. And here's the thing. Drivers love running the O'Reilly Series. They love the diversity in the field. They love those current spec cars. It keeps them sharp. It reconnects them to their roots. The super speedway races in particular, those are the ones guys circle on the calendar. So imagine being Kyle Busch, still hungry, still capable, still competitive, and having to sit out because the funding doesn't line up. It's not just him either. We've seen a similar situation with Denny Hamlin this year. Even he had to make a plea to his team to help secure sponsorship to run in the Tier 2 division. That tells you everything you need to know about how tough the sponsorship climate is right now. If a name like Kyle Busch can't just snap his fingers and land a seat, that says something about where the business side of this sport is heading. And yet, despite all that, he still shows up and wins. Let's talk about that Truck Series victory. While Kyle was cruising toward the win, there was a key piece that made it possible: Carson Hocevar. Those two Spire Motorsports teammates controlled the race. Early on, Hocevar was his usual aggressive self, slicing, dicing, making bold moves. Kyle even joked about it, saying it was normal Carson. Not out of control, just pushing limits, making plays like Kyle himself used to when he was younger. Then the dynamic shifted. Kyle became Hochevar's wingman for a bit during the second stage. It worked. They figured each other out. And when it mattered most, Hochevar gave Kyle the push he needed to seal the deal. Kyle noticed it. He appreciated it. He even said it was nice to see Hochevar had that in him. That maturity to work together when it counted. That's the kind of moment fans love. Veterans and young guns figuring it out on the fly. But here's where it gets interesting. That celebration? Short-lived, because now they head back to Echo Park Speedway. And this time, it's the Cup Series. No teamwork, no pushing each other to victory. They're rivals again. And if you know Echo Park, you know that place doesn't play nice. It's drafting, it's intensity, it's inches. Teammates can become obstacles in half a lap. So now you've got Kyle Busch fighting sponsorship battles off the track, trying to lock in momentum on it. You've got Hochevar gaining confidence after playing wingman, and they're about to throw down on the same asphalt where cooperation turns into competition real fast. And that's why this whole situation feels bigger than just one Instagram comment. Kyle Busch doesn't want to slow down. He doesn't want to scale back. He wants more races, more competition, more chances to win. But the business side of NASCAR is tightening up. Sponsorship matters more than ever. Even legends aren't immune. For now, Kyle stays full-time in the Cup Series with Richard Childress Racing. That seat is secure. But the fact that a driver with his resume has to wait on sponsorship to race more? That should get every fan's attention. Because it shows how much the sport is evolving, and how even the biggest names aren't guaranteed anything outside their primary contracts. And honestly, as a fan, I want to see him race as much as possible. Whether you love him or love to root against him, NASCAR is better when Kyle Busch is on the track. Now it's your turn. Do you think sponsors step up and get him back into the O'Reilly Series full-time? Do you think this is just the new reality for veteran drivers? And when he lines up against Hochevar at Echo Park, who comes out on top if they clash again? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like seriously. Subscribe to NASCAR Nation Report. We're a new channel, building a community of real fans, trying to hit 5,000 subscribers, and if you love honest NASCAR conversations without the corporate filter, this is your place. I'll see you in the next one. And before we wrap this up, I just want to leave you with one more thought. Because this isn't just about one weekend, one win, or one missing sponsorship deal. This is about where Kyle Busch stands in this sport right now. We're watching a two-time Cup champion, a guy with over 100 wins in the O'Reilly Series, someone who built Kyle Busch Motorsports from the ground up, navigate a phase of his career that honestly feels unfamiliar. He's still fast. He's still aggressive. He's still hungry. But now he's dealing with something that has nothing to do with talent and everything to do with business. And that's tough to watch as a fan. Because when you grow up watching a driver dominate every level he touches, you just assume the opportunities will always be there. You assume if he wants to run more races, he'll run them. If he wants to jump into the O'Reilly Series at a super speedway, he'll find a seat. But that's not the reality anymore. The sport has changed. Budgets are tighter. Sponsors are strategic. Teams have long-term development pipelines. And unless everything lines up perfectly, even legends have to wait their turn. At the same time, though, there's something kind of inspiring about seeing Kyle still grinding, still celebrating a truck win like it matters, still building chemistry with younger drivers like Carson Hochevar, still showing up on Sunday ready to battle at Echo Park Speedway like nothing's hanging over his head. That tells me he's not done, not even close. If anything, this might light a fire. Because if there's one thing we've learned over the years, it's that Kyle Busch responds when people doubt him. When doors close, he finds a way to kick them back open. And if the sponsorship pieces fall into place, I wouldn't be surprised to see him right back in the O'Reilly series, reminding everybody why he's one of the most decorated drivers to ever run there. And let's be real, NASCAR is just more entertaining when Kyle Busch is racing everywhere he can. So now the spotlight shifts to Sunday. Cup race, same track, different stakes, no teamwork between Spire teammates, just pure competition. And if the truck race was any preview of how intense that drafting battle is going to be, buckle up, because this storyline is far from over. All right, that's it for today. But I want to hear from you. Do you think sponsorship will come through? Do you think Kyle should focus only on Cup? And what happens if he and Hochevar find themselves nose to tail again at Echo Park?